Back in 2023, Reggie Miller called Tyrese Haliburton a superstar in the making, but everyone thought he was joking. Fast forward to 2025, and Haliburton is leading a playoff squad, hitting game winners, and creating an Oscar-deserving moment on the court. He's taking us back to Reggie Miller's 8 points in 9 seconds game against the Knicks in 1995.
That ties the game.
We're going to be going to overtime.
We sure are.
And he tried to give your choke sign to the Knicks, and the game's not over.
Wow. It hit the back of the rim.
I think people have been wanting me to break out the celebration, of course.
When you pointed at me and started doing, I'm like, oh God. Yeah. My phone started blowing up and all the celebrities started looking at me it's your fault. I'm like, how is it my fault?
Man, in the moment, it just felt, it was the right time.
Tyrese Haliburton wasn't supposed to be the superstar that he is becoming. But right now, the Pacers are in the Eastern Conference Finals. Did Reggie Miller see something way back then that maybe the rest of us were missing? And what's it about Haliburton's unique approach to basketball that makes him so special? Tyrese Haliburton was drafted 12th overall by the Kings in the 2020 draft and was supposed to be a cornerstone of their future. But the Sacramento front office were probably the first to think that Tyrese was overrated. So they focused on De'Aaron and sent him away with nothing but a 30-minute notice.
I got a call from my agent about 30 minutes before, and he said, I think you might get traded. I thought it was a joke, if I'm being honest.
So did Richard.
With you. Yeah. Next thing I knew, our GM called me 30 minutes later and was like, we're trading you to Indiana. And I was gone.
Was it a little bit shocking for you?
Yeah, to say the least.
But since getting to Indiana, Haliburton has been a revelation. But the first person to pick up on that revelation was Reggie. But what did Reggie see in Hallie? Firstly, Tyrese doesn't just play differently, he plays smarter. In an era where most guards are trying to out-dribble each other into highlight reels, Haliburton is outthinking the game by playing little iso ball. While other stars isolate, dance, and dominate the ball for long, Haliburton makes his move, makes the read, and moves on. And it's working. Big time. Indiana finished top 5 in offensive ratings this season, not because Tyrese is chucking up 30 shots a night, but because he knows exactly when not to. His speed isn't in how fast he runs, it's in how fast he decides. It's a modern-day version of what made Reggie Miller so dangerous. Reggie didn't need the ball in his hands all game, he just needed a screen, a second, and boom, it was 3 points. Haliburton's doing the same thing, but as a point guard, controlling tempo, manipulating defenders, but without ever dominating the ball. His 2024-25 season saw him averaging 9.2 assists per game, which ranks him 3rd in the league. Luka Doncic is 1st in assists, but then Luka has the ball in his hands twice as long. He doesn't pass because he's out of options. He passes because he's already mapped out 3 moves ahead. And we're not just talking flashy assists like this.
Haliburton magic. Look at Haliburton. Look at the look away. You know, he's just having fun out there as Haliburton.
He really is.
For no reason, he's just having fun.
But his passes are purposeful. It's the same kind of floor manipulation you saw with prime Steve Nash or Chris Paul in New Orleans. Haliburton knows how to pull defenders just far enough to give his teammates a clean look. And he does it without breaking rhythm. And because Reggie played with Mark Jackson, one of the greatest floor generals of the 90s, he knows what elite playmaking feels like on the court. But even as Tyrese is making himself and the team better, the controversies continue to pile up. I mean, here is Tim Hardaway making a wish on the Gills Arena crew.
I want to go fuck up Haliburton.
Ooh.
I want to go fuck him up.
Hey.
He talks so much shit.
Okay.
I want to go back and bust his motherfucking
I love it.
ass.
I love it. I love that shit.
Yeah, he talks so much shit. I want to go back. I want to bust his ass.
So you want to bust Tyrese
Haliburton's
Haliburton's ass because he talks too much.
Right. And he think he all that.
Haliburton might not be all that yet, but he's getting there. He's not just passing, he's elevating his teammates. Tyrese and Siakam's on-court chemistry has resulted in the Pacers outscoring opponents on average by 6.4 points per 100 possessions when both are playing together this year. As for Aaron Nesmith, he's quietly cracked the top 15 in the league in three-point percentage, hitting 41.3% on catch and shoots, most of them coming off Haliburton's setups. This is Haliburton's ability to release the ball exactly where his teammates needed it. But then again, every breakout star hits a wall. And for Tyrese Haliburton, it wasn't his game. It was the narrative. And one narrative was set when NBA players did a poll calling him overrated, and everyone ran with it. Some critics claimed he only looked good because of system coaching or weak defensive matchups. Others questioned his killer instinct, said he didn't have that dog in him. It didn't help that his play style is nothing like the alpha scorers we're used to. He's quiet, controlled. He doesn't bark after threes or flex after assists. And to some people, that doesn't look like a star. It looks like a sidekick. Then came Patrick Beverley with this.
What have you seen trying to defend Haliburton in this series?
Check the numbers.
For him,
I think you shoot 19% from the three.
Just for him, outside of shooting, just as a playmaker, how have you guys tried to, I know Doc has said, hey, we're trying to force him to his
left. If I gave you the ball for 41 minutes, you'll have 10 assists also.
Tyrese heard all of it, and instead of clapping back online, he let his game do the talking, and the results are out. After playing against each other 13 times, Pat Bev has averaged 7.6 points, 3.7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal, while Tyrese has 19.2 points, 4.7 rebounds, 10.2 assists, and 1.1 steals. One person is running a podcast, and another is still competing for a ring. Then finally, Tyrese clowned Beverly so hard that Draymond Green had to speak on it.
To see Hallie trolling the way he's trolling, called that man a con man, took Dame's quote and ran it back on his teammate. That's crazy. That's high-level trolling right there. We may have to start some troll awards on the Draymond Green show, because that is high-level trolling.
But Hallie is more than just his trolling skills. NBA legends besides Reggie have been singing his praises.
I asked you this question.
The players voted that.
I know, but nobody knows who the votes came from. Could I ask you this question? If you had Giannis, Jimmy Butler, and
Tyrese Haliburton,
could you contend for an NBA title?
Oh, no question.
You could actually contend every year for an NBA title. With
That's why I have never.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious, actually.
Imagine certain players thinking that Giannis, Jimmy Butler, and Haliburton are all overrated. As for Shaquille O'Neal, a 4-time champion and MVP, he believes Haliburton can be the face of the league.
You have a player here now, Tyrese Haliburton. When KD is gone, when LeBron is gone, when Steph is gone, do you think he could be the face of this league? I say yes.
Also, Charles Barkley, one of the most respected basketball minds today, made it clear that he doesn't consider Haliburton overrated.
Say he's a very good player.
Do you think he's overrated? Do you?
No, he's not overrated.
I just said he was a very good player.
Well, it's a yes or no question.
No.
Then there's Magic Johnson, who took to social media after Tyrese hit a game-winning buzzer beater in Game 1 of the 2025 playoffs. Magic called him a winner and an incredible leader, a phrase he doesn't toss around lightly. Magic's career was built on showing up in big moments. Haliburton's shot wasn't just a highlight, it was a statement. It silenced critics and put the Pacers on the board in a series they weren't supposed to win. So when you've got legends who've built dynasties, won MVPs, and carried franchises saying all this about you, it's not hype, it's validation. And Tyrese Haliburton's career arc is starting to read like a blueprint they all recognize. The regular season showed us Haliburton was a star. The playoffs confirmed he's a problem. Coming into the 2025 postseason, Indiana wasn't on many radar screens. Siakam was solid, Turner was steady, but it was Haliburton who lit the fire. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals? Buzzer beater. Cold-blooded, a right-wing pull-up jumper over a contested double team hit nothing but net. But that shot didn't just win the game, it shifted the narrative. Haliburton wasn't just a passer anymore. He was the closer who's now taking Indiana closer to a title. Reggie Miller saw this back in 2023. You see, Reggie played with great point guards. He knows what it looks like when a floor general makes the game easier for everyone around him. That's not just skill, it's leadership. And Reggie knows that's the kind of point guard you build a franchise around.
Because he brings people together. If you watch Tyrese play, it's never been about him. It's been about us. What can we do to win tonight? I think he would be happy with 4 points and 24 assists in the victory, as opposed to a 40-point game and a loss. And the way his teammates look at him, they look at him like they look at LeBron. They look at him like they look at Jokic. They look at him like they look at Giannis. Like, we can do anything with this dude out there. I really do believe that he can carry this team to a championship.
At just 25 years old, Tyrese Haliburton isn't a rising star. He's a franchise cornerstone. And the Pacers are no longer a rebuilding team. They're a legitimate Eastern Conference contender, and Haliburton is the reason why. Indiana hadn't made a conference final since 2014. Now they're back, and it's because Haliburton turned into a different beast when the lights got brightest. And what makes this even scarier for the rest of the league is the fact that he's still improving. And with the 2025 playoff spotlight now firmly on him, the league can't ignore Indiana anymore. And for a franchise that hasn't won a title since the ABA days in 1973, Tyrese might just be the one to finally hang a banner in the rafters. And that's something Reggie Miller wished he was able to do. But right now, he feels he passed that responsibility to the right man.
Something I was never able to do, it haunts me to this day, is bringing a chip to Indiana. What would that mean to you?
Man, it would mean the world.
When Reggie Miller gave Haliburton his stamp of approval in 2023, it wasn't just veteran bias or a PR move. It was insight, one of Indiana's greatest players recognizing a new one. At the time, it felt bold. Now, it's starting to make more sense. So, is Tyrese Haliburton the future of the NBA? Maybe. Is he the future of Indiana? It seems so, but what do you think? How far do you think Haliburton can take the Pacers? And if you're still sleeping on him, maybe it's time to wake up, because that guy Reggie believed in, he's already proving everyone else wrong. And if you enjoyed this video, check out how NBA players and legends feel about Tyrese Haliburton next.